Okay, let's talk about taking a scientific notation number, and turning it back into standard notation, which is just a normal number. So again, this is scientific notation. Notice this is between 1 and 10. This is between 1 and 10, and it's being multiplied by 10 to a certain power. That's scientific notation. We're going to turn it into a normal number. In order to do that, I have to get rid of this exponent here. So I have to figure out how to get rid of those place values. So in order to get rid of those place values, I can subtract 4 place values there. And if I subtract 4 place values there, that's 10 to the 0 power, which is 1. So that's what I'm trying to get to, 10 to the 0 power. So I subtract 4 place values there. If I subtract 4 place values on the exponent, I have to add 4 place values here. And what has no number, I'm going to put in a 0. So this number would become 503. And notice these 2 zeros here, and they would go here. So it would become 50,300. Again, notice that I took 4 place values here. I'm sorry, I added 4 place values here. So I added 4 here and subtracted 4 here. The net effect is 0. Okay? Let's take a look at the next one. The next one has 10 to the negative 3 power. So I need to get it so that it becomes 10 to the 0 power. Okay? So I have negative 3, and in order to get that to 0, I would add 3. So if I add 3 place values there, that means I have to do the opposite on this number, which means I have to take away 3 place values. So I'm going to come here where the decimal is, and I'm going to take away 3 place values, making the number smaller. When I'm taking away place values, I'm going to move to the left, and I'm going to make the number smaller. Again, here we have 2 places where there's nothing, and I'm going to put in zeros. So this number would become 006718. Put a 0 in front. This is standard notation. This is standard notation. Again, this one's scientific notation, and this one's scientific notation. I want you to notice that when you're multiplying by 10 to a positive power, it makes the number bigger. Okay, that's like a rule of thumb you can check to make sure you're doing your work right. 10 to a negative power makes your number smaller. So you're going to move, when we add 3 place values here, I take 3 away here, which means I make my number smaller. And that's how we would take scientific notation and turn it into standard notation.